Day 123. I got a subject that I want to do that I was gonna do that I wanted to do today, but and it just all came to me like quickly. And I'm thinking like, should I do this subject now? Um Nah, I already put the title and everything. So this subject right here that I'm talking about, sexless marriages, why does it happen? I want to play this clip and I did everything except um save the clip. Give me 1 second. Let me excuse me. See if I can save it real quick.
So what happens?
Okay, hold up. Save. All right, here we go. I'll be able to find it now. My bad. I was brainstorming. I started writing down tomorrow's subject. Tomorrow's subject I like because it's also based off of some of the things that I already talked about with Shannon Sharp and Tracy Ellis Ross. So, all right, let's get into this video. Here we go.
The situation where some people require way more intercourse than you. Telling somebody, hey, you're not having intercourse with me enough versus you just like you a nympho or something.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Look,
that was my real life at one point in time.
Yeah, like like for women and men, because I mean, like there's some men who they will have sex with you and they can have sex again and have sex again and it's never enough. And vice versa, women, there's plenty of women who like that. And it's like, does it come to the point where I'm not having sex with you enough, or baby, you just got a problem and you want too much? So what happens if it's a situation where,
but once you realize that,
like back to what he said too, yeah, but it's not,
it's going to get in regardless.
I guess that's true.
So, right, cut off the arm to save the body. Because
I get it.
right now you taking it, but 3 years from now you're like, man, you want to fuck too much, and this person like, you don't want to do it.
Because like you said, like I could go to work at 7:30, you go at 9:30. We don't have all the time. We don't have the same schedules. Everything don't align to the point where
you ain't off. I'm off.
Yeah, like, I want to come home and you want me to cook, and then right after cooking you want me to do something else, and it's just like it don't always line up. So it's like, is it sexless or you want too much of something?
So to me, I be feeling like, how do we get there? Because I don't see anybody that we started out having minimal sex and then now we're just having so much sex.
Facts.
We started off this way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when did you pivot to where now my want is too much?
But once you realize
like back to what he said,
yes.
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna be completely honest right now. A lot of women, they do things to get men. A man will be upfront, let you know, hey, I like sex 4 times a day, or I like sex 4 times, whatever his number is.
Yeah.
And because that girl wants you, she's going to tell you, yeah, like I like that too, or I'm a freak too, knowing she not freaked out. You get what I'm saying? Just to get you.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, okay, 2 years into the relationship.
That right there is very, very true. But it ain't just sex. To be fair, men do it too. Not with sex though. Men act like they're romantic or loving, affectionate or whatever, or they might splurge, spending money, taking her shopping, doing all these different things, knowing that they can't keep that shit up just to get the woman. Then once they get the woman, they fall back. So I do like to be fair. It goes, both parties do it, right? Now when it comes to splurging and doing all of these things, let's be honest, only the woman benefits. No man is like, man, I can't wait to get up and just spend this money, and potentially I'm just losing savings, losing money, losing whatever. Even if he rich, right? If he rich, he just spends more money. So it's not. It can be to get your woman something. It does feel great, but we not getting super pleasure out of this shit. Sexually, though, the thing about sex is that you as the woman are getting pleased as well. If you're not, for the women who are like, oh, well, I'm not getting pleased, you shouldn't be in that relationship. Period. I always say that. If you're in a relationship where you are not sexually satisfied, do not get in that relationship. Do not stay in that relationship. Don't hit you with, oh, but it's other qualities about him. No, that's bullshit. We not doing that anymore. It's 2025. Y'all can't do that. You can't be in relationships where you're not sexually satisfied. I don't care about the other qualities. If you're not sexually satisfied, it is not going to work. You're going to eventually get tired of that person. All the little things that they do is going to start to get on your nerves because of the sexual frustration. Sometimes when y'all are frustrated with each other, sometimes you could just go in the room and bang it out. You know what I'm saying? And now your frustration is kind of gone. So it can help. Sexual healing is a thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to what I was saying. Yeah, you shouldn't be in a relationship that you're not sexually satisfied. So you're getting pleased as well. You know what I mean? So the whole thing of, oh yeah, I don't even like it that much. You shouldn't be in this relationship. So why get into something with someone knowing you can't keep it up? It's the same thing with the guy splurging. But the difference is, right? And it's not, I'm not giving anybody any more credit than the other. But the difference is this. When a guy first sees a woman, for the most part, he's thinking sex. Some dudes will be like, yo, I'll wife that. But they really want to have sex with her because they don't want to just wife her if there's no sex involved. So it's always sex first. I am attracted to you sexually, so I want to have sex with you. Regardless of we jump into a relationship or not, it's always sex first. Now, sometimes you can see the person and say, I want sex and a relationship. That's very rare, though, because if you don't know them, you don't know if you want a relationship. But even in those times, there's still guys that see a woman that they see her as she's so beautiful that they just want to wife her. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life, because I would never do that. It takes forever for me to jump in a relationship. As far as vetting hours, you know what I mean? Not actual the day. But anyways, sorry, I got a message. But I can't, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it takes me a while to jump into a relationship. And damn, I just drew a blank. This message threw me off. My bad, y'all. What was I saying? Let me think. Damn, I completely forgot. Let me backtrack. I'll just backtrack and then it'll all come back to me. So jumping into a relationship, it takes me a while to get into that relationship, right? He's talking about keeping up with. I just go back. Keeping up with the persona of like this thing. I'm jumping in a relationship because it's the sex. That's what it was. So initially, when a guy is getting a woman, wants the woman, that's what he's thinking of, right? He just wants the sex first and foremost. Everything else comes second. So yeah, so sometimes he will lead with other things that he can't keep up because he's not thinking necessarily, I'm going to be in a relationship with her. But when a woman starts becoming sexually involved with a guy and she's becoming a freak, or doing all this freaky stuff and all of that, and like how this lady said in the video, she's doing that trying to snag the man, but then once she got him, she falls back and she no longer does those things anymore. Well, that's a problem because you've already been intimate and now you trying to go into a relationship. If I'm trying to get to know you and I'm leading with money, though I won't do that, and I'm leading with money because I want to get to sleep with you, then if once I sleep with you, I don't have to maintain that anymore, because whether we sleep together again or not, it doesn't matter. I got what I wanted. You feel what I'm saying? So I can actually fall back. But if we're jumping in a committed relationship, you got to stick to those things. But fellas, you got to stick to the things you lead with regardless. That's how I truly feel. That's why I don't lead with money. Because I'm not just going to be out here splurging. I actually going to spend more as we get to know each other, as I get to like you. In the beginning, I'm trying to spend the least amount as possible. Sometimes I don't get certain women because they want me to lead with money, and I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? I need to know you into me too. You feel what I'm saying? So the way that I'm gonna get with you is I'm trying to do everything that's not gonna cost. And then as I get to know you, then I start feeling like, you know what, I want to spend on her. I want to do this for her, right? But the romantic stuff and all of that, that's going to get stronger as it goes on, as we go on. Like I'm gonna do all of those sweet stuff and all of that good shit, right? I'm doing more of that. A lot of times fellas don't be doing that. They put everything up front. But so many times people send their representatives, men and women. And this is why relationships go bad. This is why marriages, some of the reason why marriages become sexless marriages, because according to this lady in the video, sometimes women lead with that to get the man. Once they get the man, they get comfortable. It's the bait and switch, right? That's what the question was on that topic in that video. But he also said, oh, is it a lack of desire? Oh, because of time. And I believe that to be true too. You're just not going to desire that person the same, year 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. It's just not going to happen. It's the same person over and over and over again. Like it ain't really nothing new y'all can do. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the same person. And then once kids come into the picture, now you dealing with that. So now you got the stresses. Your schedules don't align. You're actually tired. Things like that. Then there's sometimes in the situations, because we talking about for here, because they was talking about women specifically, where she is handling a lot with the kids and keeping the house intact. And sometimes she's also working as well. So she's gonna be tired. So fellas, you gotta do more around the crib. Now I know the flip side is there's a lot of men out there who do those things, who help out around the crib. So I'm not giving the ladies a pass, and I'm not giving the fellas an excuse either, because a lot of times you say one thing, people think, yeah, but there's multiple sides to it, right? It's not multiple, but it's more context to it. And I know men who do those things, bar and sexless marriages. So they do help out around the house and do all of that shit. But then on the flip side, there's a lot of men who don't, who they just work, they lady work too, but then she come home and she do all of this stuff. Know the situation you in. If you coming home and you doing stuff, but he is also doing stuff, there's no excuse. There is no, I'm tired. Find a way to get some energy. Drink a Red Bull. Now, if you coming home and from work and you got to do all this stuff and he just lounging around, and even though he worked too, but he just lounging around, you have the perfect excuse, because it's like, yo, you not even, and fellas, you got to know that too. You can't just be thinking, I'm not going to do anything and she going to be in the mood. That's not going to turn her on. Yes, women always say, yeah, a man who could cook and clean, blah, 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 is turn me on. That's bullshit. That's not turning you on. You're not getting sexually aroused from it. But what it does is it doesn't allow her to be turned off. You know what I'm saying? So, or to stay off. It gives her the option to be able to, that's what I should say. It gives her the option to be turned on, versus if she got to come home, she got to do all of these different things, and you didn't do anything. You didn't help out with the kids, you ain't clean, you ain't do anything, and y'all both working. That's the key. Because if she's not working, that is her work. But if she is working, then you gotta also pitch in the house. You know what I'm saying? But I would say if she's doing all of those things, if you could take some of that off her plate, now she has room to get turned on if the time comes. But ladies, y'all gotta choose your words wisely. I hate when y'all say, "Oh yeah, man, who does that turn me on?" That's not true. Y'all don't be turned on by it. And if y'all are, it's like one time. But if you're doing it on a regular, y'all not turned on by it. It just becomes normal. You know what I mean? But fellas, you gotta understand that it's not that she's actually turned on, it's that she is open to being turned on because she doesn't have those things on her plate. You feel what I'm saying? So also with the sexless marriages, back to that topic, some people do just want it more. And that's the big issue. In the beginning, ladies, if you know you don't have that same desire that he has, it does not matter what his qualities are. Do not, this is why I tell people, this is why sexual compatibility is it's the most important thing. There is no debating, there's no arguing that. Y'all always want to use, religion and all of these different morals. No, the first thing is y'all sexual compatibility, because everything from that point becomes easier. It's not saying that it will fix all the problems, but it becomes easier because as long as y'all not sexually unsatisfied or frustrated, I should say, then it's easier to work through everything else. You know what I mean? It's easier for other things to align. But once you sexually unsatisfied, then or frustrated, all the other stuff is just heightened. You know what I mean? The little things just become heightened. So that's first and foremost, because that's the only real difference in a relationship and a friendship is the intimacy. You feel what I'm saying? Because like I told you before in another video, everything you can do in a friendship, everything you can do in a relationship, you can do in a friendship. The only difference is the intimacy. So that has to be on point. If y'all have an issue, all the little other good qualities, they're gonna go out the window. Unless both of y'all just don't have high sex drives, then it could work. If both of y'all just have extremely low sex drives, then you good to go. Y'all be satisfied having sex once every 2 weeks or once a month. That's good. But if one party has a higher sex drive than the other, or one party is just really not enjoying the sex like the other is, you know what I mean? I'm rating the sex a 9, thinking, no, this is mind blowing. This is great. 1 out of 10. And she's rating it a 3, or vice versa. I'm rating it a 3 and she's thinking it's a 9, but it's not going to work because she's going to be frustrated or I'm going to be frustrated. And then from there, everything else will become a bigger problem. So from the very beginning, when y'all become sexually active and y'all see that, man, our sexual energy is not the same as far as how much we want it, like he or she has a way higher sex drive than I'm able to keep up with. Even if the sex is mind blowing when you have it, but if you can't have it regularly, that person gonna be frustrated. Then don't jump in that relationship. Just let it go. You're not gonna be able to keep it up, and the desire is gonna die down eventually, just because as time goes on, the desire just goes down. You know what I'm saying? So you already don't have a high drive, and now your desire is dropping even more because it's the same person. You're used to the same person. It's not as exciting anymore. And then they're gonna get frustrated, even if before yours drop, they're just gonna start getting frustrated because you're not wanting to do it as much as they are, which means that the romance and all the extra stuff is gonna die down. The foreplay, all that's gonna die down. Which it naturally does sometimes anyways, but it's going to die down even quicker because it's like, man, I'm doing all this and she don't even really want to do it, But like I said, this goes for both parties, because sometimes there's women with higher drives and the men can't keep up. And if you can't, you need to leave early. Don't even jump in that relationship. To tomorrow's video, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of that too. But tomorrow's video it's gonna be, I think tomorrow's video is gonna be better than this one. Not saying that I dislike this one, but yeah, I got some notes and everything for tomorrow's video. It's gonna touch a little bit on this. It's gonna talk about the Shannon Sharp, the Tracy Ellis Ross thing, like tying it all together. So be prepared for tomorrow's video. Till next time, peace.